Does this election have us spiraling straight toward a civil war between the right and the left? Let's hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Lee, and this is Prepare for the Worst. So I keep hearing everybody's talking about the election. Everybody's thinking there's going to be a riot or a civil war, and there's going to be all kinds of chaos all over America. So everybody's talking about their get home bags and what they have set up for civil unrest. I don't believe that's going to happen. There might be some protests, there might be some isolated riots, but I don't think we're heading toward a war, not over an election. We've seen it over and over again, elections that we didn't get the results we wanted, and we still haven't gone into war about it. So I think we're going to be okay. But since everybody's talking about it and it is a concern, I figured I would put together a little get home bag and show you my ideas on what should be in it and why you would need them. Now, I don't need a get home bag, of course. I keep all of my bags in the car with me, so I already have everything that I need. So I just put this one together specifically for this video. Now we're starting in reverse, everything out on the table, and as we go through it, I'm going to put it in the bag so you can see how everything packs in. I am using my new bag that I got from Goodwill a couple days ago, yesterday, whatever. And it seems to be just the right size. You can use a backpack. You can use, whatever you want to use. This, to me, looks like you're carrying clothes. Like you just kind of threw some crap out of your car into a bag and walked with it. It doesn't look like you're really carrying a whole lot. So, inconspicuous. Keeps you out of sight, out of mind, right? So this is what I'm going to go with. Now, a lot of these things, you should be carrying some of it on your person already. Like saw, you should already have with you. A pocket knife, you should already have with you. Your self-defense should already be on you. So your EDC can be removed from whatever is here, because you don't have to carry 2 or 3 times what you already have. But this is my basic of what I would want with me in the worst case scenario. You driving down the road, heading home, and my political party didn't, or somebody's political party didn't win, so there's riots in the street. I can't go any further. I can't get home at this point. So I'm gonna have to park my car on the side of the road or in a parking lot, or just leave it in the middle of the street and grab a bag and hoof it. So let's get into this. So here, if you're going to be cooking with a pot or anything, you want something to keep your hands from getting burned. So these are insulated gloves, leather, just for you to pick up pots and hot things. And a pair of regular mechanic gloves, nothing special. You're walking around the city, you're picking up things off the road, you don't know, whatever, to survive. You want a decent pair of gloves just to keep your hands clean. So I want to keep them ready and available, so I want them on the side pocket. Just like that. Get the big thing out of the way. That's just a sleeping bag. It's just a lightweight. I think it's like a 50 degree climate, or Kelty. I'm sorry. And it just kind of stuffs into this old husky bag. You shouldn't be having to sleep on your way home, but you don't know how far away are you, how bad is the situation. You may have to get out of the way and sleep for a night or two away from everything before you start heading home, because there may be too much ahead of you that you just can't get around. If there's a bridge that's blocked and that's your only way home, you have to go somewhere and camp. So you may need some kind of a sleep system. Nothing crazy, just to get you by for a night or two. On the same lines, you want a tarp. This is it's Red Camp. Inexpensive. They're a little on the heavy side. So it's not a DD or anything, but it is a low cost tarp. You can throw up, you can lay on it, whatever you need to do. There's a lot of videos if you watch Blackie Thomas or Cole Cracker, Bushcraft, Dave Cadbury, Ranger Survival, Corporal's Corner. There's all kinds of videos on how to put up tarps. Maybe in the future I'll get a couple up there. But a decent tarp is something to give you a little bit of shelter, because you don't know. If you don't know, you want to prepare for it. Shemagh. I always like to have shemaghs on me. I have them in my car. I have them in all of my bags. It's always a good thing to have on you. Pre-filter water. Cover your neck, face from the sun, dust, smoke, whatever it may be. Always keep a shemagh on you. Since I don't know where I'm going to be or what's going to be happening, I'm always dressed for the occasion. I'm always in my normal cargo pants, hat, boots. I'm ready for it. Not everybody is. You could be coming home from the gym and you're wearing your gym shorts and a wife beater or something like that. You want to change up clothes with you, something that you are going to be good to walk a long distance in and able to survive in for a few days. So I have a pair of wool socks, darn tough. A pair of hiking pants. Those are I think those are Columbia. Maybe mistaken, but they are hiking pants with the zip off legs. So if it's hot out, I can just zip those off and be a little more comfortable. And a lightweight shirt with UV protection. Because if you're walking out in the sun, that heat is really going to kill you. Especially if you're not used to it. That'll go right there. And of course, if you find that you are dressed and you don't need the change of clothes, take them out of the bag and leave them in the car. You don't want the extra weight. So, moving on. Water. Water is always important, especially if you're walking in the heat. Water is, like I said, the heat will kill you, and it does that a lot because you run out of water. So, that's just a regular Catadine Be Free. Kind of Ranger band the bag down, just to keep it out of the way and keep it from snagging on things and getting holes in it. These are kind of a fan favorite in the backpacking and hiking community, and for good reason. They are quick and simple to use. They work extremely well. All you have to do is get to the your water supply, fill the bag with compromised water. Keep your cap clean, because if any of that dirty water gets into it, you're just as screwed as if you were drinking straight from the canal. All it takes is one bacteria and it'll mess you up. So you keep your cap clean, put the cap back on, and you drink straight from it. It's a lot like dealing with a grail. You just fill it up, put the cap back on, and go. Quick and simple. If you have a grill, of course, take that instead. Grill's a whole lot better than this. But these are small, compact, lightweight. Just throw it in your bag, go. You're good. I always like to have backup plans, the backup plan, especially for the water. So I do have a Sawyer Mini in here, and we have a couple of squeeze bags for that. Um, get that out of the way. Again, backup plan to the backup plan. You always have to have a contingency. If one of them fails, water is one thing you don't want to do without. If you lose your shelter, fine, you can make something out in the woods. If you lose your sleeping bag, whatever, you can use, leaves or whatever. But if you lose your one source of water, you're screwed. This is just a stainless steel container, single wall from Clean Canteen. Something that you can make a toggle on a string, hang it over a fire, and boil your water if you need to. A way to boil water is always a necessity. Of course, Nalgene, because they make some of the best water containers on the market. So this is a just a little mouthpiece for the Nalgene's. This is by Hydro Pack, and it just makes it easier for you to drink from it without spilling it on yourself. If you're walking, it can be sloshing around, and that makes it a little bit easier. Not a necessity, but these are little exit tabs. You shouldn't be starting a fire, but if you do have to, that'll just make it a little bit easier for you. Chem lights. Again, you shouldn't be starting a fire, but if you do have to, a Bic lighter should always be the number one. Start there. So that's emergency. I have a couple of those. They give you a little immune boost and a little bit of flavor for your water. You get tired of drinking just straight water. I think they even have a little electrolytes in them or something. Liquid IVs. You're walking out in the heat, you need to boost your electrolytes. Electrolytes are just as important as the water. If you run out, you're going to feel it. My Sawyer Mini, and of course another backup plan to the backup plan, and to the backup plan. That's aqua tabs to purify the water. If everything else fails, you still have a way. With all of this, you shouldn't need it. You're just trying. This is just what I already had in here. If I was really setting this up for a get home, I'd probably take those out with the amount of stuff I already have for the water. On to the next one. So a knife. Don't think it really matters all that much what type of knife you have. You're not surviving out in the wilderness for months on end. Just get a knife, throw it in the bag. That's Gerber Prodigy, just something I had on hand. This is it's good for everyday use. It's a general purpose type knife, but it also has a really good fine edge. So it can be used for feathering or batoning or anything like that if you do need to use it in the woods. Has a glass breaker on the pommel, just a little spike at the end. Also can be used for self-defense. You want to use the other end of the blade. But it's just a good sturdy blade that you can use for whatever you need to. You can even use a pocket knife if that's all you've got, but you got to have some kind of cutting object in your bag. Again, if you already carry one, That's not necessary, but you've got to have something. A saw is something that you really shouldn't need. You're not looking to bushcraft. You're not looking to build a fire out in the middle of the woods or anything. But you should always have a saw with you. I don't care what you're doing, where you're going. You should always have some kind of a saw. Personally, I probably wouldn't take that in my bag because I already carry an open L saw. That is really all that you need. Just some way of cutting things. A lot of people like Baco or Silky saw. Um, this is a samurai. You can get Verona. You can get Fiskars. There's all kinds of saws on the market. Some of them are cheaper than others. You just need something. If you already have a SAK, Swiss Army knife, that has a saw in it, it's fine. Just have some kind of a saw with you. Um, you gotta be able to see what's going on ahead of you so you don't walk into something. Pair of binoculars. These are cheap, just little old Tasco binoculars. Just to just see a little bit ahead of me, so I'm not walking into a trap or head first into the exact thing that I'm trying to get away from. You're not trying to cook. You don't want to cook. You want to get home as fast as you can. But you don't know how long you're going to be out. You don't know what's going to be happening. So keep a container. Now you could just use the stainless steel container, the single wall water bottle, to boil some water and put it in one of your mountain house meals. Um, so you don't really need this, but you have your little stove inside. Personally, I would say pick one. If you're gonna have this, you don't need this. If you're gonna have this, you don't need this. Pick one of them. Which one works best for you? I like to have this because whatever I boil can go in there and have clean drinking water. So personally, I would rather have the stainless steel water bottle, um, but user preference. But you do need some way of heating up some water to put into your mountain house meals. You're not trying to cook a steak or anything, but you've got to have something. You don't know how long you're going to be out there. Everybody wants to say, I'm just going home, I'm just going home. I don't need any of that because I'm not going to be gone that long. I'm only going to be gone for a couple hours. It'll take me 2 hours to get home. I'm, 20 miles away, so it'll take me, 3 hours to get there. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Be prepared for the worst. Keep a little. Now this is a bit excessive. They have smaller cans. Um, Matter of fact, they have that one. They have a mini, like you might have seen in one of my other videos. Um, you don't have to carry that much, but just a reference, have some way to cook your meals. Toilet paper. When nature calls, you don't know where you're gonna be. So just keep some way of taking care of yourself. You may not be able to find a bathroom at that point. That's just a contractor's garbage bag. Everybody knows they've got so many uses. You fill them up with leaves and have something to lay on. You can fill it up with water and have a way to carry your water. Just many uses. Something that you can cut it open and hang it up as a shelter. Just a good thing to have on hand. Paracord, I hear a lot of people say, I'm just going home. I don't need paracord. I don't need any kind of cordage. I'm not making camp. I'm not going to be sleeping. I'm not going to need any of that. No matter what you do, you need paracord. You always want some kind of cordage with you. Headlamp, of course. Oh, I'm not going to be out in the woods in the middle of the night. I'm just going home. I'll be there before nightfall. Bring a dang headlamp. You'll be sorry if you don't. This is a Husky, of course, clearance as always, but it has a red light in it. It has the basic functions. It works really well. Husky is, of course, a sturdy brand, so they're reliable. Um, Batteries. If you have a flashlight, you need battery. You want those up front. That's something that we want to get you when we're going to fill it up pretty quick. We'll get to that later. Now, since I have a tarp, I want tent stakes. I don't want to have to make some tent stakes while I'm out there, just trying to get some sleep so I can get going in the morning. So keep a couple of tent stakes with you. These are guy line adjustments, so you're not having to practice your knot tying skills, which I don't have much of. That you just tie to one end, and it slides up and down the guy line, and adjust your tension, quick and simple. Of course, meals. You can survive a couple of weeks, 3 weeks is what they say. But you still need sustenance. You need vitamins, minerals. You need protein. You need calories. You need carbohydrate, starch. You need things while you're walking. So at least one a day. You're supposed to have something like 2,000 calories a day. You're supposed to have as much as you're burning and all of that. But again, this is just a get home bag. So a day or two, just enough to survive on. You're just trying to get from point A to point B. So I'm only going to put 3 in. So here we have the little fire kit, little can opener on top. You may come across a can of soup. They're just some typhoon matches. So they're some of the best things you can, best matches you can get. And again, you should always be sliding with a thick lighter, but have a backup. This is, of course, a bit excessive. You're not going to need that many Zippo matches. Just to represent, you do need some matches, which is actually some in here too. So these are UCO matches, very old waterproof matches. So these work really well. They're not Zippo matches, but you get a lot more of these. With those you only get like 15 in a pack. These, I don't know, 25 or 30 or something like that. And it's a lot smaller package, so pick for your desire. Gorilla tape. I don't like duct tape. I keep saying, if you find good duct tape, it's going to be just as expensive as Gorilla tape. I want Gorilla tape. Bit of bank line. Again, you want cordage. Gerber. I think this is a suspension. My eyes won't let me see, but multi-tool if you don't already carry one. The plunger that everybody loves to hate, that's for flushing your Sawyer Mini. Eating utensils, you should only need a spoon, but something to get down in those bags and eat your meals. You don't want to be eating with your fingers. A flashlight, just something. It doesn't have to be a mag light. These are a bit heavy. And a lot of the older ones, the xenon bulbs, they're not really that bright. This one has an LED bulb in it, so it's a lot brighter. But just a good flashlight. I always carry them on me, so this would not be going with me anywhere. But just have a good flashlight, something that you can hold in your hand. The headlamp is great, so you can hands-free, but you want something that you can direct your beam. This is just a bit of wire, snare wire and stuff. There's a little wire tree saw in that. Um, Something you shouldn't need, just a little, again, you may have to repair something or whatever, you just want to be prepared for it. Another lighter, of course, a bit of Gorilla Tape wrapped around it. For those of you that don't know, Gorilla Tape and duct tape burns really well, but it burns slowly. So you can rip a piece of this off, twist it into a cone shape or into strips, light one end of it and put it under some your kindling, and that'll give you a decent fire starter. So there it is. Everything all packed up in one bag, just enough. It has a bit of weight, but it's not overbearing. If you have a decent backpack, that might work be a little easier to carry. Like I said, I think this is a better option because it just looks like you're carrying whatever you have found in your car. Doesn't look like you're prepared. Um, Again, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think we'll be fine. Everybody keeps crying that the world is going to end, that things are going to happen, but they never do. Everybody's talking about the end of the world. Everybody's been crying about that for thousands of years. So, when things actually hit the fan, you want to be prepared. It's always good to be prepared. That's where the old saying, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But I don't think it's just going to happen. So if it does, that should give you a little bit of an idea. Again, you should have your own protection on you. You should have your own EDC on you, things that you normally carry. And then you supplement this the way that it fits you the best. I don't know what kind of area you're living in. You may have to adjust certain things for the temperature or the amount of sun or things like that. Maybe you're in more urban area or more suburban or rural. Whatever area you're in, what kind of things are going to work and what ones aren't. So just use this as an example of what you might need and pack your bag to fit you. So as for now, best of luck with everything. Again, let's hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. I guess I will see you on the next one. Y'all have a good day.